Hey everybody, it's deliciousVB here, and today I have a code for a file explorer. So if you go to explorer.exe, that opens the file explorer that Windows usually has. Okay, and this one you see is, it's made by Microsoft, or by Windows, so obviously it's going to be really high quality, but today we're going to make our own simple file explorer, and all a file explorer really needs to get the basics is being able to browse directories, being able to open files, and being able to type in a directory, and don't forget about allowing to be able to go up one level, or else you'll be stuck in the same directory forever. So here I will show you a preview of what we'll be making. So, whoops, wrong button. So here you go. I just double clicked on the recycle bin, and you can click here to go back, boom, back, you can go anywhere. So, yeah, it works fine. You can also type in something. So C drive, whatever you want to do. If you want to do C, oh no, there's not much, but you can type in something if you want to. You can go to recycle bin, see, and it automatically puts that in, and then you can type in that name, which is really annoying actually. But anyway, you also have the size label, when it was created and when it was last modified. It's also docked, so that no matter what size you make it, it always looks the same. And take note that this is not just any regular text box. This is actually a text box that logs where you've been. So if you want to return to a previous place you were just at, instead of retyping it or rebrowsing, you can just click here and it's basically history. So anyway, that's what we're going to be making. So it starts out with a simple form design. There's a combo box, nothing special, it's docked to the top. It's the only thing special. Whoops, it's docked to the top. Don't just make the text C, actually it should be like that, C, and then that backslash, and then that's it for the combo box. Now the list view you really need to customize. So first of all, you want to go to view, and you want to make sure there's details. If it's not details, it'll still work, but it won't look like this. It won't look anything like this. In fact, your desktop is basically a list view. Your desktop, you can just when you click the items, those items are arranged in a list view. So we're not going to create that type of list view. It's different. This is going to be details, a details list view, as you see in the Windows File Explorer I just showed you. So they include these 4 columns, which you can add by going to this arrow and clicking Edit Columns. So here, it's actually a complicated process, kind of. Let me remove the column headers so I can teach you how to do it. Just create 4 column headers, and it doesn't matter what they're named. The only thing that matters is the text. So the first text will be file, or actually you need to find the actual first column. So, okay, so yeah, this is the first column. File, column header 6 will be size, 7 will be created, and then 8 will be last modified. Now for you, this will actually be 1, 2, 3, 4, column header 1, column header 2, but just because I recreated it, it's like that for me. So just ignore that. So now we've customized the list view enough. You can change the font, whatever, if you want to. You can also, I added a full row select. So instead of just selecting the first column, you actually select the whole row, which is what it's like in Windows File Explorer. That's why I use it that way. So anyway, that's basically all the form needs to be customized. So let's get in the code. So in the code, as you can see, the main the main thing going on here is the sub called Populate that I've created myself. And if you don't know how to create a sub, you can check out my subs and functions video. That actually teaches you how to make your own sub. Anyway, so this sub Populate will take 1 argument, and that argument is path as string. So it takes a string, and I think this is pretty obvious to most of you, but for those of you who still don't understand, you call populate, and then you enter the string that you want, you enter the path that you want to populate from. So, for example, if you want to populate from the C drive, path would be the C drive. It would be a string equal to the C drive. So, anyway, first we do a try catch just to make sure that if we get any errors, they're caught. And actually, this comes into big play, this try catch, and I'll show you why later. Anyway, so first you want to clear the list view items. Now, when you first load the form, of course, you won't need this. But in every case after that, you'll need to clear, or else everything will just keep getting added one after another. So then we want to make combo box1.text equal path. So we change the text to the path that you entered. Whether you entered it through the combo box or you double clicked it, whatever you did, you want to make sure combo box 1 has that proper path. So then you dim lb as new listbox. So this is a listbox, and you want to say for each str string. So basically for each string in My.Computer.FileSystem.GetDirectories of path. So getDirectories takes one argument, that is path, and path is again the path in which we want to fill up. So it just gets the directories from the path that you entered, and as a one-dimensional array, and it adds each of those values to lb.Items. So now lb is filled with all the directories from this path. Now you have to add the files. So for each str string My.Computer.FileSystem.GetFiles, and do the same thing. So it's basically the same thing, except you gotta notice the key difference. Here is getFiles, and in parentheses again path, because getFiles takes one parameter, and that is the same path. So now you've just added all the files from this path. So now this lb has all the files listed in it. So next you want to add an item called ... Now this will take a little bit of explaining for those of you who don't know what ... is. In file explorers, in a lot of file explorers that say aren't as advanced as Windows Explorer, or don't have the room for a button, you put a ... Now, putting a button is pretty easy, but instead of putting a button down, us programmers thought it would be better, easier for the user, and easier for the programmers to just put ... So we put a ... and you now use that button to go up one level. So say you're in C drive / users, then you press that button and it'll go back to the C drive. So it's a very important button because, like I said earlier in the video, you'll just be stuck in the same directory if you don't have it. Okay, so it adds that button. Nothing else to do with that button, just add it and that's it. Now we do the real stuff, what really adds everything. So dim NewItem as New ListViewItem. So you actually have to create a new component, a new ListViewItem component, and we're going to name that NewItem. Then you want to say if My.Computer.FileSystem.FileExists item.ToString. So we're not actually checking if a file exists. We know it exists, but we don't know if it's a file or a directory. So we check if a file exists on your system as item.ToString. Now if it does, then you dim info as a new System.IO.FileInfo, and that actually just gets info from item.ToString, and item.ToString is the name of the file, the full name of the file. So it gets the info from that file, and that actually comes into use later when we get the size, creation time, and last modified time. So first, we set NewItem.Text as item.ToString. Simple enough. The text of the new ListViewItem, the first text, the name, is item.ToString. Then we add 3 sub-items, because there are 4 columns, right? Now text is only the first column. It kind of works a little weirdly. Text is only the first column. After that, you just have to add each next column. So NewItem.SubItems.Add info.Length. So info.Length, .length for file info measures the size of a file. So info.Length just gives you the size of a file. now next you do SubItems.Add info.creationTime. Now info.creationTime, creation time, self-explanatory, it's the time the file was created. Last write time, again, self-explanatory, last time the file was modified. And then you do else. So this next part is if it's a directory. So if it's a directory, then first you dim info, again, you'll need that. And then you set the text as item.ToString, which is the directory's full path. The size, instead of size, you put directory. That actually makes it simpler for users, so they can just look, okay, this is a directory, this is a directory. And I mean, a folder or directory doesn't really have a size after all, or not, at least not an easily measurable size. And then we have info.creation. Again, that's the time the directory is created. And then we have last write time, which was when the time in which the file, the directory, was last edited. So then we have end if, and then this is probably the most important line, listview1.items.add new item. Add the item. And it keeps doing that for every item in lb.items, and every item in lb.items is every file and directory in path. That's basically how it works, just work backwards. So this is going to have to be the first part of the file, what I call file finder. You can really name it anything. This is going to be the first part. Simple, easy to use code. The code will be in the description if you cannot read it on screen or don't want to copy it. But in order to learn, I strongly recommend you actually watch this whole video and actually type it yourself so that you can actually learn the content. Anyway, we're going to stop here. After this, in the next episode, which should hopefully be the last one, I'll explain this code and all the other codes after that. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something from the video. And thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want more, especially the second episode. That's also going to be key. This will not work very well without the second episode. I'll tell you that right now. So thank you guys for watching this episode. I'll see you in the next episode, and goodbye.